I just kind of feel like I'm drowning right now with everything going on. And everyone in my life, they just automatically assume that I'm fine. And that just sucks because then no one ever offers to help. How am I doing? Oh, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Everything is great. Me? Oh, no, I'm thriving. No, same old same. But how are you? Let's talk about you. How are you doing?
A grown man walks into a hardware store to buy drill bits, not to be ambushed by a 50-year-old in a coping montage. Let the man pick up his wood screws in peace.
Where are all the nice guys at? Because y'all aren't where I'm at. I'm so sick of dating assholes, and I'm so sick of talking to guys and immediately getting a. I want nice, courteous, thoughtful men to come my way. Please.
The respectable men she's demanding went and respectfully married the women who didn't spend their 20s on a group trip to Vegas. Supply meet demand.
How old are you?
Do I have to answer?
You can lie if you want.
I feel 33.
Okay. And
I
what's
identify as 33.
you identify? We got that.
Identify as 33.
What's your relationship status?
Single.
Why do you think you're single?
Complicated.
In what ways?
Been picky and dating is hard.
Dating isn't hard. The lying is. When step one of the pitch is fraud, the rest of the deal is already dead on arrival.
I was scrolling through my FYP and I noticed all these women in their 40s. They look absolutely flawless, amazing. Their hair is done, cute outfits. And I'm like, that ain't me. I am 43 and this is what you get on a weekend. I'm cleaning, so I have a t-shirt and shorts. And my face is not done. I got lines and wrinkles. But this is what a 43-year-old single mom of 2 boys, works full time. This is what we look like. Anybody else?
Ring lights and filters built the fantasy. She just walked into the real world and got confused why the brochure didn't match. The wall is undefeated. Filters are not.
I think dating for women gets harder after 25.
Because a lot of men are predators and they prefer younger women.
Damn, explain why. Damn.
It's like a proven statistic. Like if you see there's a graph that shows the preference of men as they age.
Yeah.
And for women, it goes according to their age. And for men, it stays around like early 20s.
Why do you think men prefer younger women?
Because they want somebody that they can control.
Or, hear me out, men simply prefer high fertility, low mileage, and a pleasant personality. Occam's razor doesn't miss, and biology doesn't care about your women's studies degree.
So, is it only men like under the age of 35 that have a sense of style anymore? I feel like, especially when I'm going through dating apps, it just looks like any of the men my age or even a little older have all just like given up on themselves. Only men like under
answer
the age of
is
35
nowhere,
that have
because
a
the
sense
men
of
she wants
style anymore.
are at home with
I
the
feel like,
women
especially when I'm
who
going through
didn't
dating
make
apps,
her
it just looks like
choices.
any of the men
Geography
my
isn't
age
the
or even a
problem.
little older have all
The
just like
choices are.
given up.
Rula, are you married?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Is he happy?
Oh, that's a weird question. Usually they ask if I'm happy.
Yeah, but like, it's a different kind of an interview. I'm just, because he's not here, like, I want to show my care for him as well. Is he happy? Your answer is yes, no. I think it's okay. I think we got the answer. That's me and the camera guy. You got it, bro?
I literally just got back from the worst day ever. Y'all, if you're in a relationship, don't leave. There's nothing out there in the dating field. Nothing. There's nothing out there. Make it work with whoever you're with. This is a warning. This isn't a threat. This is a warning. There's nothing out here.
The math never adds up because the truth is always worse than the confession. And I'd eradicate 80% of them isn't a redemption arc. That's a receipt.
Your body count. You know it? I don't know it. I've been such a for a time of my life.
Yes, I'm too.
I wouldn't have thought so. I don't know, but it's probably over 30.
Yes.
I'd say that. Because I mean, that sounds a lot, but if you're just realistic, even if you go out twice a month when you study, like I studied for 5 years, 6 years, and I went out like at least once or twice a month, and I did have one night stands. I mean, the sum just sums up. Yeah, probably even 40. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but it's just a number, you know.
It's just a number.
I have lived everything I wanted to live. I really understood the YOLO thing, but you should be careful. There's always a risk involved, even if you have like contraception, and also physical risk. You don't know who you're going home with, who you're taking home.
Yeah.
They can be like, men can be very physically dangerous to us. So I do not want to idolize having a lot of partners. It can also break your heart and make it more difficult to have a relationship. And if I would go back, I would like probably eradicate 80% of the men that I slept with. It was not like worth the energy or even the risk of transmitted diseases.
She's not warning her friends to stay loyal. She's warning them the market already reviewed her resume and forwarded it to the shredder.
As women, we get really bored with ourselves and really bored with our lives, which is actually what we project onto our husbands as good men, as we think they're boring, they're predictable, they have no life, when really that's the experience of ourselves hiding inside of our comfort zone of being unhappy, that it's really kind of boring. That we keep ourselves there and we keep ourselves mired in problems and mired in our brokenness, needing to go to therapy, read the books, do all these things to work on ourselves. That's a very small, boring life.
The wall doesn't send warning shots. It just shows up one day, looks them dead in the eye, and introduces itself to a whole generation of women who spent their prime years chasing validation instead of a ring. And today's lineup? Stacked. Cope, delusion, public breakdowns, and women live negotiating with biology on camera. Grab a seat. Reality's undefeated streak is still going.
His wife taps the can with a knife.
老子真的是服了你了，你买个馋嘴巴，想吃那个东西。
When the can doesn't open, she takes it out on her husband.
你不晓得买那种塑料的吗？啊？买个东西都买不来，你一天，你还在那儿拍啥子拍啊？
But
服了你了，你一天。
she has way too much pride.
你再给老子喊一句，你再试试看。
And she's actually kind of terrifying.
Life is funny. Hear me out. You go from being Superwoman, where you're working, you're looking after the kids, you're getting them to all their activities, you have dinner on the table, clean house, you're go, go, go. And then you become the invisible woman when you hit 45 and no one even notices you. You kind of go from one superhero to the next. But I kind of preferred Superwoman because this one sucks. I could literally walk anywhere. Nobody even knows who the I am anymore. The kids just kind of, yeah. I don't know. How do you find it? Did you go from Superwoman to invisible when you hit 45? I kind of just feel like I'm nobody anymore.
Translation. She wants one more lap around the carousel before pretending she ever wanted a husband. Men have pattern recognition now. That window closed.
Single people, how are we prepping our lives in case something terrible happens to us? Hi, my name's Stacey. I'm single. I'm 44. I'm child-free. I've never been married. And recently, with all the chaos that's been going on in the world, it has just made me extra cognizant that at any time something could happen to any of us. And as I look around my house, I think to myself, who the heck is going to have to deal with this?
She's asking a stranger to subsidize the consequences of a choice she made with another man. The guest handed her the accountability she skipped at 22. and she still didn't recognize it.
I am getting on here to just share my thoughts about being 30-something and not having a boyfriend, not having kids, and not being married. I have been so sad. I've been so depressed because I thought that I would have a family by now. I thought that I would at least be engaged or in a relationship at the minimum, and I'm not. And I'm getting older, and I'm getting scared. Am I gonna be on here one day coming to terms that I'm just gonna be single? Like, it doesn't even sound right. I feel like I'm in such denial sometimes. Like, no, there's no way that I'm not going to be a wife. There's no way I'm not going to be a mom. And I'm like, am I being delusional, or am I just having faith, or am I crazy? Each day I struggle with this so much, and I just don't know what to tell myself. Do I tell myself, don't worry, you'll be fine. Like, you're going to find somebody tomorrow or next year and be able to have kids before it's too late? Or do I tell myself, maybe you should figure out how to live life as a single woman and be happy? I don't know.
She's mourning the life she thought she'd have. Built on time she refused to invest. The biological clock doesn't take emotional IOUs.
The men out there also need to realize that when you're going out to meet a single mother and their kids are young, like, you got to realize all the things that she has to do to be able to go out.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm paying a babysitter so I can go out with you. And you gonna ask me to pay for half of it?
You say that like it's his fault that you a single mom. Nobody put you in that position but you and the person that you chose. So nobody's responsible for whatever you got to do to get on a date. That's your business of how you need to do it. And if you can't do it, then you need to sit your home.
Absolutely not.
I'm already in the hole before I even step on the door.
Which means I got an Uber. You gonna pay for the Uber? No, like, they don't realize that there's a lot of things that a single mother has to do to be able to go out and about and do that, you know?
And what you don't realize, there are so many people in the world that don't even have these problems. So what makes you think somebody want to deal with your problems when they can go deal with somebody else that don't even have these problems? Am I tripping or no?
She's confusing entitlement with confidence and a price tag with value. Every trait she's bragging about comes standard in a 24-year-old, without the baggage fee.
To preface this by saying that this is not a sad video. This is not a, oh, I'm so lonely video. I've been single for basically all of my 20s, and it's just kind of weird to think that I'm not going to have that, like, young, carefree love. Like, the first person I, like, truly date is probably going to be the person I marry, and that scares the shit out of me because I just want to date somebody without thinking about anything. And that window is honestly past. Like, if I meet someone, the first person I'm going to meet around my age is probably, you know, going to start talking about marriage and kids after a certain point of time. And I'm never going to have the type of relationship where it's just carefree and fun. Like, God forbid a girl wants a whirlwind romance.
She thought the attention came from her. It came from her youth. And when youth checked out, the entire audience she built her identity around walked out with it. The wall didn't make her invisible. It just turned the lights on.
What I'm about to say might be a little problematic, and I'm not trying to be. I'm 44 years old, and I used to make fun of women who used to say, oh, I can't find a man in my 40s, blah, 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 blah. So my 30-year-old self would say, that's impossible. You're probably not looking. But now that I'm 44, I realize, like, it's kind of true. I find that a lot of men our age want younger women, and it's not cool. But I'm finding they want them for a different reason. I think they find the immaturity desirable, because when we were 20, we didn't know what we wanted. We were insecure. We're looking for validation. We did anything a guy wanted us to do just to feel accepted. So now that we're in our 40s and we're confident, we know what we want, we won't settle, we will speak up and say what we desire, what we want, and won't tolerate I find that it's harder to find a man who's okay with that. If that makes sense. Does anybody else resonate with this? So is it hard to find a man who will love you for your age, for your confidence, for your intellect, and for your maturity?
She spent decades praying to be invisible. Now she's furious the only men still looking don't look like they did in her imagination. Hypergamy doesn't retire at the wall. It just gets more delusional.
I mean, you're 30. That says it all. So you've been ran through your 20s, not a care in the world, thinking that you're living your best life. And then now that you're 30, you're thinking that you're some inspiration. Look at me, I'm running. I don't need a man. You do really need a man. You're just trying to act brave. Unlucky. You got ran through while you were younger. And now you're dealing with the consequences.
44 years of strong and independent, and the only thing she's successfully built is a list of people who won't show up to her funeral. Independence is a great costume until the bill arrives.
How long have you been single for? How old are you? I don't think so. What? Like over 45? It's gonna be tough. That's a tough one. 45 at this point. You're not my type. I'm just kidding.
She's set in her ways at 45 and surprised the men across the table already built a life with someone who wasn't. The seat at his table was filled 10 years ago.
I was aging. One of my deepest, darkest desires as a woman was to become completely useless to men, invisible. You know, when they say that women over 30 have expired, that old women are undoable. I used to just dream of being completely useless to men. Because that, I thought, was when they would finally leave me alone. I'm 61 now. 61, married, a grandmother, and pretty profoundly disabled. And I'm here to tell you, they have not left me alone. The attention has changed. I'm saying this with a smile, but it's actually not at all funny. Because no, actually, they won't leave you alone. Now they're here, in my comments, and in the world, making sure I know every day of my life how completely undoable I am to them. It's not enough to actually be undoable. They have to tell me I need to know that they don't want to do me. And we're not talking about the young hot men. We're talking about the creepers in their 60s and 70s, making sure that I know that these unattractive men who have let themselves go and have no social skills at all don't want to do me.
The comedian didn't insult her. He said the quiet part out loud, and her nervous laughter signed for receipt. Every man in that room already knew. She was the last one to find out.
Amazing. Can you let us know your secrets so we can avoid them?
The man on the mic delivered more truth in 40 seconds than her entire decade of girl boss affirmations.
Amazing.
Consequences
Can you let
don't
us
care
know
about
your
your
secrets
journal
so we
entries,
can
man.
avoid them?
Last time I was single, I was 24 and the dating pool was everyone. And now it's like a shallow puddle of age-appropriate men who are old and gross, and I don't want to do that.
Dating after divorce is total chaos. Women are annoyed by having to start over, but now they're at the end of the line. Even worse if they're single mothers. The irony is that their standards are higher than when they were young and beautiful. Now, on the wall, they want the perfect man to be their partner. That's why they feel more dissatisfied, because they've already made the wrong choice once and don't want to repeat the same mistake with a beta provider. For a father, the first one with good genes will do, but for a stepfather, the one with the strongest wallet is needed. That's why men, when dating women over 30, feel like they're in a job interview.
Hard going out there at an older age.
I think there's a fantasy that comes along with that. You know, like you're saying, oh, I see people that are on their second and their third marriage, but
And they're happy.
It's real. I think it's really hard. I mean, I haven't been out there for a long time, but I remember I was so happy to be out there, but it was really hard because also as you get to be at this stage in life, you're pretty set in your Yeah. ways and what you like, what you don't like. And so is that person sitting across the table.
Right.
So to find like something
Someone that checks the boxes.
for each other, I think it's really hard. And
Yeah, it's hard.
The Pretty Privilege Pass had an expiration date printed on it from day one. She just didn't read the terms and conditions. No refunds on wasted SMV.
And it's more challenging to date someone over 30 with a child.
I believe dating over 30 in itself
is difficult.
Is a very difficult.
Anyone I know who's over 30 and is
And-
single, I
yeah.
really feel for you.
It's a jungle out there, babe.
And I feel like as you guys get older, you
It's
get
getting
pickier
harder.
and it's harder.
Oh,
And
that's true. As you do get older, you definitely get pickier. So dating over 30 is definitely a lot harder than everything else.
yeah.
If you have a child and you're a full-time caring parent,
Mm.
you are really limited to time available
Yeah.
to go out for these dinners and meets and coffees. That's a problem I find in my life. Obviously, I don't make the time, but also I'm very limited to time.
And then I feel like you will prioritize having your me time
Absolutely.
over going and meeting someone that you probably know
Absolutely.
is not going to work.
33 is the claim. The mileage tells another story. That's what happens when the odometer lies and the engine doesn't.
What's it like dating as a 50-year-old woman?
Terrifying. Seriously, like when I go out, I don't get anybody ever approach me. Maybe I just don't give off that, hey, I'm single, come and talk to me. But you know where is good? It's Bunnings. So Bunnings on a Saturday, that's great. There's lots of men in Bunnings. I did say to my girl, we should start hanging around Bunnings on a Sunday.
Men approach value. The answer to her question is already sitting in her own comment section, and she's not going to like the feedback.
I need to know something because I want to know if it's just like where I live or if it's a universal thing. I just feel like men don't approach women anymore. And I want to know, is it just where I live? And I live in Rhode Island. So I want to know, like, do men approach women in other cities? Because I feel like when I talk to other women from different, like, cities, like, more, like, popular cities, men approach them. But, like, here, I just don't get that vibe. So I want to know. Because when I go into other cities, men approach me. But, like, here, it's like, I don't know. I don't get that vibe. Tell me. Let me know.
The pickier they get, the emptier the dating pool looks. Value isn't the problem. The mirror is.
I haven't made a pretty privilege post in a while, and I think I'm going to make one right now. You ready? I used to have pretty privilege. I used to have preferential treatment from the opposite sex, and I used to probably get a lot more attention than maybe I should have. Who does she think she is? She's not pretty, she's ugly. Have a day off, Karen. I love that name, Karen, by the way, so no shade on you guys. Looking at myself back in time with my adult eyes and understanding the true value of my youth and who I was and how it was lost on me is really funny because I used to think that I'd never get here. What I'm trying to say to you is one day I looked at myself and I was doing this. There was no more pretty privilege and I wasn't getting preferential treatment anymore.
She performed the strong, independent brand so convincingly that everyone believed her. Now she's mad the audience took her at her word. That's not neglect. That's casting.
Also, ladies, you have gotten increasingly promiscuous. You've gotten increasingly boss babish, right? You're prioritizing things guys don't care about. You're like, oh, I don't need a man all day long. What do you think guys are going to do eventually when you keep saying, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I can do it. Okay, honey, do it yourself and I'll be over here just chilling. You don't need a man? Let's see how you do, right? That's where it's at right now. So when you keep telling guys you're useless, I don't appreciate you, you're not good enough, I don't need a man, eventually they say, you know what, screw you.
Does anyone want to go home with me tonight? Anyone? Anyone? No? No? Okay, going once, going twice, going thrice, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, I'm done.
Public auction, 0 bidders, not even a sympathy bid from the back row. The crowd did her the favor of saying out loud what her mirror's been whispering for years.
I want to find my husband. I want to find my husband today, tomorrow, by next year. This is it. I'm done. I am so over the whole dating, the whole game, the whole questionnaires of like, what do you like to eat? I'm like, no, I want something real. I want something with depth. Like, and I get it. It takes time to get there. It takes like mistakes to get there. But how many mistakes can I go through until I meet him? And the song that says, "Where the hell is my husband?" I get you. We all get you. I think a lot of us get you. We're looking for our husbands, and our husbands hopefully looking for us. But I'm so frustrated, because I can't wait to love someone so much more than I love my dog. Like, and he's pretty cute.
She wants a husband the way children want dessert, as the reward, not the commitment. Husbands aren't summoned by frustration. They're earned by becoming someone worth marrying.
You have to get out. You got to get out this game.
Yeah.
You can't be in a club competing with a goddamn 23-year-old at 38.
Listen, there's a lot of women out here that are in their 40s that are still,
Still what?
like they're
Tell
still
me what
youthful looking.
Even salt looks like sugar from a distance, baby.
13 years, 2 men, both paid for by her, and the diagnosis is still the men. That's not bad luck. That's a hiring manager who shouldn't be trusted with a houseplant.
Women come to that realization and they're 32, 35, and they did a little bit of, or they were hooking for a while, or they had a little time in their 20s and maybe had a kid when they were 22 or whatever. Once they come to the realization that men don't treat you the same when you're 35 and you put on some weight, then they get angry and they want their comeuppance. There's like, no, got my master's degree. I turned my life around. I had an epiphany. Where's my man? And all the good men are talking to 23-year-olds, and women are very angry about this. One of the biggest issues I have is when a woman wants to date an older man, which most women do, it is considered a preference, a healthy preference. When a man wants to date a younger woman, he is a double standard that a lot of people have that I think is absurd.
He asked a yes or no. She filed a divorce case. Insecurity has no poker face. And the comedy club made sure everyone saw the tell.
I have been single for 13 years since my divorce at the age of 30, and I've never been taken on a date. This is a vulnerable post. So I've dated 2 different guys at different times, obviously, about 4 to 4.5 years ago. One for 6 weeks and one for 8 weeks. One guy was always so happy to go out, but just too busy to organize everything. So I would organize it, which kind of meant then I paid for it all. The second guy was really honest, and he was happy to go anywhere, but he had less money than I did and felt because I had more assets that was just my job, and I was an idiot and I did it. And I think maybe because I had not dated anyone for over 10 years and all my insecurities kicked in, and I'm like, I need to do what I need to do to be able to keep these happening. Obviously, after 6 to 8 weeks, I was like, blow this is not fun anymore. But now that I'm like starting to get back into this game, I've told myself that will never happen again. And I was watching The Golden Bachelor, which is like cheesy as all heck, but I'm like, it would be so nice to live in an era again, or maybe in my own era, where I met somebody who could organize, not your first date, I'm talking like when you're further in, organize something incredible for a day.
She wants a man who'll do whatever it takes to keep her. Translation: she wants a servant with a ring. Respectfully, that position's been outsourced.
Anybody here 30 and up and still single?
I have a 4-year-old.
That's not what I asked.
Wait, 39 and you have a 4-year-old? It's not a catch.
Dude, I didn't ask you to unpack everything. What the hell? I'm just like trying to do it was like a rhetorical question. I didn't actually care. You see what happened there, right? I asked a very simple question and she got insecure and she's like, oh, I don't know. I'm single. I'm 30 and a half. I'm not a catch, right?
Women calling their preference natural and his preference creepy is the entire gynocentric playbook in one sentence. Biology isn't patriarchy. It's just bad news for the women who ignored it until 35.
I've been telling people like, I'm okay, I'm fine. I'm okay, I'm fine. And I am. I'm okay, I'm fine. But I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because I'm like, When am I going to meet the man that's just going to get it right? When? When am I going to meet the guy that's just like, I'm ready, I want you, I'm going to do what I have to do to get you and to keep you? When?
She just accidentally wrote the case against herself and called it content. Marriage and a Debrief podcast cannot share a zip code. Stay single. You've earned it.
Saw Kate Elizabeth talking about this, so I thought I would talk about this as well. About how I would also hate to date an influencer. I would hate to date me. Why would you want to know this is what I look like all the time? Like, why would you want to know what I look like when I got out of bed? And surely you just want an element of mystery about the girl. But no, you just got me on the internet looking like this. And now I'm about to go record my podcast where I debrief all the dates I go on. So why would you want to go on a date with me? Because I'm just going to talk about you on my podcast anyway. So, and you're not, there's no way that there'll ever be any mystery what I think of you. Because tell TikTok, I'll tell Instagram, I'll tell my podcast. I'm destined for a life of single today.
Men stop performing when there's no audience worth performing for. She's not seeing men give up. She's seeing the current market rate for what she's bringing to the table.
If my man's down and he needs help, I can help him. If I'm down, he can help me. Go both ways.
Who paid for the first date?
Him.
Yeah. Who paid for the second date?
Probably him.
Who paid for the third date?
Probably him.
How long would you take care of your man if he couldn't work anymore?
Let's say maybe like 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not equality. Since I have a timeline on it, that means that it's not equal because men, it's in our nature to provide for a woman forever.
Okay, I gotta know. Single moms, where are we getting suitable bachelor men? Is that the park? Is that the grocery store? Is it, where is it? 32. Where do we find it? Where do we go? Do they exist?
Here's the part nobody tells them when they're 24 and swiping. The wall doesn't knock. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care about the master's degree, the passport stamps, or the number of hot girl summers logged. It just arrives. And when it does, every compliment from every man she ghosted comes back with interest. Biology doesn't run campaigns. It doesn't hold town halls. It just keeps score. And this is what the scoreboard looks like. If this video earned your time, hit subscribe so Alpha Reloaded can keep bringing the receipts twice a day. Drop a comment if you spotted the exact line that broke her in half. My money's on segment 15. Stay sharp, stay alpha. And remember, the wall is undefeated.